Hello and welcome to vlog 19 of Rally Race Guys. So today we have finally got a welder, and I think that's what the episode will be called. So we've finally got a welder. So it's a Mac Tools Mac MIG 180. So this will do everything that we need, including seam welding, making bottom arms if we choose to, repairing exhausts. It will do everything that we need, unlike the ones we've used before, which is a 150 and a 110. They're just not that powerful enough, and the 180 will do. It's a nice all-rounder. You're not spending too much money, but you're not also spending too lesser money for not good quality. So we've got a Mac Tools one, and including in with the Mac Tools deal, we got a regulator. So this one actually goes with the welder, and the limited edition welding helmet as well, to replace the one that I bought from Screwfix. So if I spin this around. So I haven't seen anything, so these are the instructions. So inside here we have the tube for the gas. We have the welding torch, and we have the negative terminal, and also we have I don't know what that is. We've got a couple of tips, a 1mm, 0.8, and a 0.6 with a Jubilee clip and a spanner. So I've already got some welding wire. So I've already got some welding wire. This is 0.8mm, and it was 5 kilograms until I started to use it. So I need to pop this in. Hello and welcome to Rally Race Guys. So today we're going to introduce a new member of our family, aka the welder. I've been having a play with it over the last couple of weeks. I keep on forgetting to bring the camera up, and the time that I actually got it and actually brought the camera up, I didn't actually have all the bits, which I'll explain in a second. Sorry about the wind, it's a little bit windy today. And it's a little bit cold as well, but so I will show you what we've got. So here we have a Mac Tools MiG 180, Mac MiG 180. We've got my bottle on it, which is rather large. There you go. And we've been doing a lot of the welding. We've also got a new heater as well, which one of the bulbs is gone, so I need to buy one of them. So this is a cracking piece of kit. I really like it, and I cannot fault it. I have not found a fault with it yet. The only fault I could give to it is it's not a TIG welder. But yeah, anyway, but this will do us absolutely down to the ground for doing anything on the car. So I'll show you what we've done with the car. So with the other welders that I've used, this is the stuff we've done. So you can have a look there. So it's not that good, and this was pre my welding course as well. So all it down there. So yeah. So that was pre-welding course. So I will go and get the LED lights so we can actually put some more light on it, and just here. And I'll show you what I've been doing. So this side is now nearly complete, other than the seam welding, which I haven't completed. But I'll tell you about more why I'm not completing it just yet in a second. But let's have a look at the welding. So as you can see, I've done quite a lot of welding. There's more that I've done, but I'm not going to show it because it's not very impressive, and also I haven't ground it back yet. As you've seen, I haven't ground anything back other than a couple of bits, just so I could get them flush, so I could actually get the panels on nicely, because I've just gone a bit too far with the seam welding. Yeah, I haven't finished the seam welding yet because I'm not going to do any more welding just yet. The reason I'm not continuing is because of a job we've got to do today, which is remove the fuel filling neck and the overflow pipe. Under the car it comes, let me show you. So it cut from there all the way, so it goes inside the car, then back out into the wheel well and out. So it's about there. And then the pipe runs the same direction, but then runs into this chassis rail and then comes out just underneath, just under here. As I was welding last time, I got extremely close to it with these welds here. And I got very, very close to melting them, which I don't want to do, and I don't want to do this because I'd rather not melt them, because I don't want to buy another one, because that will just add to the cost. But before we do that, I'm going to measure up how much wire we've actually got left on the other side of the wiring loom that we cut up previously in a couple of episodes ago, when I took the dash out. So I'm going to run the wiring loom on the left hand side. That's where I'm going to run it, along the left hand side, and try and trace where I want to run it, to see if I've got enough slack in what I've got to join them up. If so, I'll join them up with just normal connectors you can buy from Halfords first, just so I can test everything again, sort of the wiring out again, and then I will put a proper plug on it, like a Deutsch connector or a super seal or something like that, and I'll get that specifically for the how many pins I actually need and how many wires. In future I will look into the rear wiring, and if I want to remake that wiring loom, then I can just disconnect it from under the seat, and yeah, so I can rewire it, so I can disconnect it from the seat, so I know how much wire I actually need. It's all going to be P-clipped and what have you, so it looks all nice, and I might make an aluminium cover just so you can, so it protects it in the passenger footwell, because we're having a piece of checker plate aluminium on the floor, and then obviously a footrest for the co-driver. So I think the best course of action at the moment is to start there. It's because that's we need to see how much wire we've actually got left, and that's the easiest job so far, because taking the fuel filler neck out might require the car being jacked up, and I'd rather do the wiring first, because that's the most bit I'm a bit nervous on, because I don't really like wiring, and that's just my preference. But we'll get on with the wiring now, and then we'll get on with the fuel filler neck later. So this is where we're going to run it, across here in this channel. After we've seam welded it, we're going to put the P-clips in place. I don't know quite where yet, but we're going to rivet them through the floor or through here, with P-clips, nice stainless steel P-clips with stainless steel fixings, because we don't want the rusting, we want them to look nice as possible. So this is one end of the wiring loom. This is the bit we've cut. So actually, it looks like it will just be by the seat when we're finished. So it will just be under the seat rail, potentially. So that the seat rails will run along across here, which will be about this, just to give us the most movement forward and backwards. But also we can change it as well. So if we get the other part of the wiring loom, which is here. So we've got a lot more wire to play with over this side than we do this side. As you can see, we've numbered all of them and what have you. We can probably work out what they all do, but I've just put blue 1, blue 2, blue 3 if there's multiple blues. Same with all the other colours, just so we know. Just because some look very similar and very similar, and those are starting to fall off now after being like that for a little under a year. So I want to try and get it with a connector on, so then we know what's what. And all we have to do is repin it if we want to do a different connector. So the way we're going to run it is we're going to tuck it up on the inside. We're also going to recover this as well, so we have a nicer cover. This is roughly where it will run. So we're going to run it like this, try and keep it as close to the inner chassis rail as possible. So we've got this one, which I remember is from the handbrake, which I might just have to run that to an earth, so the handbrake light doesn't come on, because I'm running a hydraulic handbrake, or I will be running a hydraulic handbrake, but without a switch. So if it's left like this, there's a potential the light is on and the light is just annoying. So the best way to do it is either take the bulb out, which I don't really want to fiddle around with the clocks, or just ground this. So that's what we'll do. This section is for the fuel sender, so we know how much fuel we've got in the tank, which we will have to lengthen. So we're probably going to run this, probably take this back and put it up into, we'll finalise where we're going to put it at a later date. We'll probably get some sticky pads and run it on the inside of the rear quarter, so it will stay. But also we've got this lot to play with, so we want to get this running across the fuel tank so we know where it is. If we ever have to take it off, we know what's there, so it's serviceable if we ever need to drop the fuel tank for any reason. So it might have to shorten some of these, which isn't a bad thing. I would rather that than have to lengthen them. So to be honest, I probably could have cut it probably up here and then we would have had that length, but I want to try and avoid soldering, because soldering work harden, heats up the material, and then ultimately it will work harden and then break. I know that might be a couple of years down the line, but then I don't want to be chasing electrical faults just because of one broken wire. And it may be the lights, or it could be the fog lights, or it could be the heated rear screen. So we know roughly what we need. Now we're going to count them. So that's 16 wires, which I'll just double check. One. 16 again, yep, so we know we've both got 16, so we're good on that front. So I need a plug with 16 pins, which I think they make them, so we will find out and see if they do. A lot of rivnuts, which we've got rivnuts, we just need a rivnut gun. So I've tidied these away now. Okay, so we've now done that. So we know we've got to use a 16 pin connector for the wiring. The next thing on the agenda today will be getting this fuel filler neck out. So it is just here. So it runs in here, there's a Jubilee clip in there, which is kindly pointed away. So we're going to have to try and get a spanner in there and try and undo it. Hopefully it's not seized. But I'll get the camera to show you exactly what I mean. They're not very nice. They could have done it a lot nicer, like through the speaker hole. So it's literally up there. That's where it is. You just see it, there it is. And the gap in there is all I have to try and get it. So good luck for me. I've just taken the fuel cap off, and there's 2 screws, one there and one there. So I'm going to undo them first. So I've just taken these out. So here you can see it's Phillips. Yeah, where have you gone? There you go, Phillips. But also they've got this foam washer that you've got to be really careful not to lose, because that's what saves water getting in from where the filler neck is. So save them. I've got both of them. Just there you go. Okay. So now we've done that, this should, it moves. So, as you can see, now we've got the wheel off. So this is our problem. So it is quite muddy. Which I'll show you. So there you go. So that's where it ends. That's where the actual fuel tank connects. But so this Jubilee clip is actually quite muddied up, and all of that is as well. There's actually another overflow there that actually runs out of the car that we've got to take off as well. So it's all up in there, as you can see. Oh, again. As you can see, it's all up in there. But we need to dismantle that slowly but surely. So I need to drill out a rivet there. I need to cut this off, because that's a fuel cap. That's what I need to try and get as much of this off as possible. So I need a wire brush to start with, so I can work my way up. So, looks like it's rounded off. Well, that's snapped off now. So you can see it's properly rusted away. And if I do this even further, there you go. It's that bad. So I think because it's perished, I think the best course of action is just literally drop the grind on it. We're going to have to get a new piece of hose. We won't cut it because of this pipe here, this plastic one. But we need to get it off, so we need to just literally drop the cutting disc on it, so we can get through, unless we can punch it. But I don't really want to do that, just in case it's brittle. I'd rather just literally nick it and go from there. It's quite a delicate area as well, so the cutting wheel with the grinder will do. And that's as much as we need, literally just to drop it, and we have. So let's get a screwdriver and pry that out of the way, and get a piece of grips to try and get it off. It might come off, but we'll see. Well, there you go. That's pipe 2 off. It's very grubby. And we've got pipe 3 as well. Here, pipe 3. So here should be So that was a successful, slightly rounded 10mm bolt off. This is where I get covered in shite. So now, from wiggling this, I've got a lot more movement in there. So the next thing to do is drill the rivet out up there. Okay, so I know I'm running out of batteries, so I'm going to make this quick. So finally, I got it out. Took some jimmying. In fact, you don't actually need to set that Jubilee clip off at the start, because it was the first time I'd ever done it. All you need to do is obviously disconnect it from the tank. If you're doing with the tank in, fortunately I didn't have the tank in, so I just had to undo that 10mm bolt, and then jimmy it out. So you sort of have to push inside where I was showing you earlier, where the you'll see there's like a over sleeve for it, which is this, which you have to push out, and then jimmy it out. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll get some more progress done on the car. Like and subscribe and follow our social media. Thank you. Bye.